The rain fell in sheets over Harbor City's rotting docks, turning the industrial grime into a slick black mirror. Detective Jack Malone leaned against his unmarked sedan, the ache in his lower back competing with the tremor in his hands. He popped 2 white pills from a blister pack, dry swallowing them as the coroner's van pulled up. The pills were a secret, just like the photo of his daughter Emily he kept tucked behind his badge. 2 years dead. 2 years of chasing ghosts in a city that ate its young. Another OD? Ana Ruiz asked, stepping out of the passenger seat. Her leather jacket was zipped tight against the cold, but her eyes burned like she'd been staring at screens all night. Because she had. At 28, Ruiz was the youngest detective in the narcotics unit, a barrio-born hacker who traded street gangs for firewalls. Malone hated partners. Hated rookies more. What did the call say? He grunted, flicking his cigarette into a puddle. Female, early 20s. Found in warehouse 12B. Security guard spotted the door ajar. Malone pushed off the car. Let's get this over with. The warehouse stank of rust and stale seawater. The girl lay on her back near a stack of rotting pallets, her skin waxy under the flickering fluorescent lights. Her lips were blue-black, like she'd been drinking ink. A single black rose rested on her chest, petals glossy as oil. Not an overdose, Ruiz murmured, crouching to examine the girl's arms. No track marks. No pills in her stomach either. Wait, look here. She pointed to a faint puncture wound on the girl's inner elbow. Fresh. Whoever did this knew how to hit a vein. Malone's jaw tightened. Emily had veins like road maps by the end. It's just a phase, her mother had said. She'll quit. 'Cause of death, he barked at the coroner, a weary man named Pritchard. Cardiac arrest, Pritchard said, peeling back the girl's eyelid to reveal a burst capillary. But her tox screen's going to look like alphabet soup. Smells like fentanyl. Fentanyl doesn't leave roses, Ruiz said, snapping a photo of the flower. Maybe her dealers are romantic, Malone muttered. Back at the precinct, Malone avoided the framed photo of Emily on his desk, her high school graduation, all sunflowers and hope. Instead, he stared at the case board. Jane Doe, 20 to 25. No ID. Cyanotic lips. Black rose. Ruiz stormed in, her tablet glowing. Got a hit on the rose. It's a Rosa sinistra, genetically modified. Only one florist in the state sells them, Eduardo's Exotics. Malone grunted. Florists. Great. Let's go smell some daisies. Eduardo's shop was a cramped hole-in-the-wall off 7th and Vine, the air thick with the cloying sweetness of orchids and desperation. The owner, a twitchy man with ink-stained fingers, squirmed under Ruiz's glare. I sold 2 dozen last month, he admitted. Cash only. No names. But you remember, Ruiz pressed. Who buys black roses? Funeral homes. Goth kids. A woman, Eduardo blurted. Late 30s. Blonde. Paid extra to keep the thorns on. Malone's phone buzzed, a text from his informant, Ratchet, a meth head with a talent for survival, meet me at the Den Gardener's Reel. And she's coming for you. The Den was a needle-strewn flophouse above a pawn shop, its walls sweating with mildew. Ratchet huddled in a corner, his pupils blown. She's pruning the city, he whispered. Killing anyone who touches Eclipse. Eclipse? Malone grabbed his shoulder. What the hell is that? New product. Pure as snow, they say. No cut, no burn. Just bliss. Ratchet shuddered. But cross the gardener, and she sticks you with a dose that melts your heart. Leaves her flower like a receipt. Malone's stomach turned. Emily had collapsed in a gas station bathroom, a half-used syringe in her hand. No rose. Just a receipt for a Slurpee. "Who's the supplier?" he demanded. Ratchet laughed, a wet, broken sound. "You think they'd tell me? But I heard things, the docks. Midnight. Follow the roses." 3 days later, the second body turned up in a luxury loft downtown. Marcus Cole, 22, star quarterback for Harbor U. His scholarship photo grinned from the news, dimples, perfect teeth, a future sold to the highest bidder. Now he sprawled on a marble floor, lips the same unnatural blue, another rose clotting the blood on his shirt. "Same MO," Ruiz said, scrolling through security footage on her tablet. "No forced entry. Cole let the killer in. Check this, the rose was placed after death. See the timestamp?" The footage showed a hooded figure slipping into the loft at 2:17 a.m. 10 minutes later, they exited, pausing to adjust the rose on Cole's chest. "Like they're signing their work," Malone said, the pills in his pockets suddenly heavy. Ruiz's fingers flew across her keyboard. Cole's bank records show a $10,000 withdrawal last week. Untraceable crypto transfers. This wasn't random. He was buying Eclipse. Malone's phone rang. Deputy Commissioner Gray's voice crackled. "Wrap this up, Malone. The mayor's breathing down my neck about the drug stats." "Yeah. Tell him to check the morgue," Malone snapped, hanging up. The docks were a labyrinth of shipping containers and shadows. Malone and Ruiz moved in silence, their flashlights cutting through the fog. A low whistle echoed, a drug runner's signal. "There," Ruiz hissed. A group of men clustered near a container marked fragile. Malone recognized the lieutenant, Carlos Vega, a cartel enforcer with a habit of dissolving witnesses in acid. "SWAT's 10 minutes out," Ruiz whispered. "We don't have 10 minutes." Malone drew his Glock. "Stay behind me." They breached the container. Vega spun, a sawed-off shotgun in hand. Asterisk Policia, asterisk, he snarled. Gunfire erupted. Malone ducked behind a crate, returning fire. Ruiz's tablet lit up as she hacked the container's lock. The door screeched open, revealing stacks of bricks wrapped in black plastic. Eclipse. A shadow moved. A figure in a gas mask stepped from the darkness, a syringe glinting in their hand. The gardener. "Freeze!" Malone shouted. The gardener plunged the needle into Vega's neck. He convulsed, hitting the ground as his men scattered. Malone lunged, tackling the figure. The mask came loose. Blonde hair. Ice blue eyes. A face he'd seen in Emily's autopsy report. "Dr. Lena Voss," Ruiz breathed. You testified before the city council about fentanyl analogs. And they buried my research," Voss spat. "Just like they buried your daughter, detective." Malone froze. "What did you say?" "Emily Malone. 19, died in a bathroom stall with enough carfentanil in her veins to drop an elephant." Voss's voice softened. "Her dealer was my first rose. A mercy, really." Rage blurred Malone's vision. He pressed the Glock to her temple. "You think you're some angel of death? You're just another junkie." "Jack, don't." Ruiz grabbed his arm. Voss smiled. "Prune the rot, detective. Or it consumes everything." Sirens wailed. Sweat poured into the docks. Voss twisted free, swallowing a cyanide pill before Malone could react. She crumpled, her final breath a whisper, "The garden always grows back." The chief held a press conference the next day. "Major blow to the drug trade," he declared, ignoring Malone's hollow stare. Back at the precinct, Ruiz cornered him. "Eclipse samples are missing from evidence. And Deputy Commissioner Gray just transferred $200,000 to an offshore account." Malone said nothing. That night, he stood on the pier where Emily's dealer had been found floating, a black rose clutched in his rigor mortis grip. He pulled out the pill bottle, hurling it into the harbor. His phone buzzed, a photo from Ruiz. A shadowed figure placing a rose on Gray's doorstep. The message read, "She's not done." In the gloom, Malone almost smiled.